So I always keep this fake Hollywood money in my car. So when a homeless person asks for money, then I give them like a fake $5 bill. So I feel good about myself. They feel good. And then when they go to use it, they get arrested. So I'm actually like helping clean up the community, you know, getting them off the street.
Good joke or life that person leads. A joke or their actual life. Either way, not great, not great. And that's not just a random person. That is Johnny McEntee, I guess, former Trump aide, also in Trump's director of the Office of Personnel Management. He was put in a management position over other people. He's a senior advisor to Project 2025 that wants to usher in a fascist bureaucratic state and start executing people at a rate never before seen in American history. Being run by people that either actually do that, the thing that he said in the video, or think that, hey, that's how I'll get my likes on TikTok today, by talking about getting the unhoused arrested. Francesca, you're a comedian. You must appreciate that.
Really funny, yeah.
Is this like your social media activity?
Yeah, all the time.
Stuff?
Yeah, just playing pranks on people who don't live inside and who were just one paycheck away from making their rent. That's what I like to do with my day. Oh boy, yeah. It really, you know, being part of the Trump administration and then also part of Project 25, it just hits a little bit different because Project 2025 are truly, it's just, I don't know. It's just nothing but backwards Oakleys and like men who've never practiced consent in their life. Like that's all it is. And there he is. And I also just want to say, like, this isn't that far of a cry from, I think, what even like liberals do, or even like Democratic politicians do, which is to kind of like disrespect and walk over the unhoused, you know, or blame them for their own problems. Like, I don't know, I don't want to conflate the two because one is like truly cruel and awful, but we don't really have a good counter narrative. Progressives, and sadly not enough representation in elected office, to say, you know what, this is a housing crisis. This is not a problem of the unhoused, right? This is not their fault. And we need to all be better about this. It is about cleaning it up, sweeping it away, not looking at it, and yeah, going back to the heyday of putting people who live on the streets behind bars. And we're gonna see that obviously as Supreme Court, you know, starts to clamp down on even just living outdoors, even just having a tent 100%. Outdoors.
Yeah, so look, I see people talking in the chat about how it's illegal, and yes, the thing that he's describing theoretically could lead to 20 years in prison if you knowingly pass out this fake currency or whatever. So all that is true. Obviously, he's gonna say that it's a joke. I'm perfectly content to just criticize that. It's entirely possible that he does it too. Everything in his face says that he actually does this, but even if it's just a joke, there's something about, again, the sort of person we were talking about earlier on the show, that the unhoused really bother them. And I think that there's some really fascinating psychological reasons for that. I'm not a psychiatrist or whatever, but I do think that if you are a deeply pathetic and mediocre person, and if you are given positions just because you know people or whatever, you're born into it or whatever, you must look at people who are at this low point, and you have this gaping hole in you, this fear that you know you're not talented, you know you're not exceptional. The only thing holding you from falling into that position is the artificial net of contacts and privilege and all that. And I think that drives the hatred. And like, I don't know this guy beyond just this video, but Jesse Waters literally for years has been going on rants about the unhoused. And even for like a regular right winger, why would you hate people who have nothing so much? But there's an aggressive, violent approach to it that I think has to be telegraphing how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, and I want to take that even further, John, because I think it's not just that could be me, but it's the empathy. I think what happens when Republicans and right-wingers feel empathy is it bothers them. It bothers them that they feel something for this person. And there's two ways to go. I think progressives, liberals generally, or maybe you depoliticize it. People with more moral centers think, man, I feel for that person. Maybe I'm gonna give him $1, or maybe I'm gonna, you know, man, we need to address the systemic issues behind this. We should create policies that help house people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the right-wing reactionary response is, it's their fault, and this feeling that they're making me feel bad.
Yeah.
And how dare you make me feel empathy for you because you're in this situation on your own accord. And so I'm going to justify my turning away from your plight here by blaming you. And so I think it's just that anger of like, I shouldn't have to feel for you. Oh, how dare you make me feel bad.
And I think that we see that with their approach to migrants as well. I think like in your hypothetical example where like a lib might be like, oh, like I feel bad, I wish I gave a buck. Even then, you know that you're not solving the person's problem.
Of course.
You might go away from that situation feeling bad, okay? Feeling bad, maybe being inspired to change, like vote for a politician, change a policy or something, but you feel bad. And I agree, they don't want to feel that. And I think that the way you avoid feeling like that is to say, wait, what if actually they were the bad guy, then I wouldn't have to feel bad. What if a person literally living in the street is actually the villain of this story? And I, the person wearing boat shoes, am the good guy.
That has to see it, exactly.
What about that? Or what about like, a 20-year-old Guatemalan woman with a 2-year-old child desperately trying to get in America so that she can work 70 hours a week for the rest of her life? What if she's the villain actually? That way you don't have to feel bad.
Cleaning your home.
100%.
Raising your kids.
Yeah, it's all, I feel like it's also psychologically transparent. These are tiny little boys, okay, who have spun a myth for themselves that they're Julius Caesar come again or something. And they just want someone to love them. They don't know how to attract someone. They fall apart psychologically, and it causes so many societal problems as a result of that. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.